practice while I've been here. People have worked independently or collaboratively. We've had research partnerships going on. It's been really interesting, and the research that's been undertaken has been really broad and varied. So I was a research champion, but in fact all of the teaching staff at my school are now capable of undertaking really quite valuable research. Something else that we've put into our school is a research resources library where we share a blog of the half term or something interesting. There's a whole raft of texts and books in there, some of them written by self-proclaimed gurus and some of them not. But what's happened, what's been really nice over the years, is that organically that's not my responsibility anymore. People have shared things in there that they have found, and it's been really, really lovely to see not just our staff, but students or staff visiting from other schools using that area. My favourite thing about it at the moment is that it's filling up with research that we have undertaken, and when we've got them all together, they're going to go off and they're going to be a book of what we have done, what Crossflats Primary School have done in terms of research that we can share with our colleagues in our wider collaborative. The Research Champions Initiative has been a real pleasure to be involved with. I was on a webinar not that long ago where I was asked the question, what advice would you give to a leader who hopes to become more research informed for their school? And I said the same thing then as I'll say today, is absolutely do it. Why wouldn't you? When we know better, we do better. So in terms of moving forward, there will be opportunities and a recruitment drive for this moving forward in September. So I really hope that I get to see some other people, some new recruits moving forward. So thank you for having me.
It's quite a small room of audience here, so it gives me a great pleasure to introduce to you Maureen Ali from Marshfield Primary School, another one of our wonderful research champions.
Good afternoon, it's such a privilege to be here. My name is Maureen Ali and I've been part of the Research Champions programme for the past 2 years. My teaching journey began 10 years ago in this very lovely city. I did 4 years at Bradford College and then I went on to be a teacher in Bradford for the past 6 years. My role has really evolved into a multitude of very inspiring roles, and being part of this programme has really helped me to transition from a classroom teacher into a classroom leader or a school leader. So that's kind of what I'm going to speak about today. So this programme has given me the confidence to really widen my sphere of influence, challenge policies and systems and implement practices based on evidence-informed research, and it's certainly something I didn't have the confidence to do before. And being a classroom teacher and going into more school leadership, I think this programme really helped me to bridge that and do it properly. And I think it's sometimes training that we lack. We expect teachers to go on into leadership after a few years, but I do think that there needs to be more done in terms of making sure it is evidence informed. So in my first year of being a research champion, I chose to implement a whole school mental health curriculum. So it was quite a big task actually choosing to do it whole school, but now looking in hindsight, I'm glad I did. So our priority was a mental health curriculum, and lots of people came into school trying to sell us their products, which happens at a lot of schools. And the amazing thing about being evidence informed is you can look at all of these packages that different companies are offering, and you can say, actually, this will work best in my school because it is based on research, and I know that it actually will have impact, rather than, oh, this is a lovely shiny package, we get a bit of discount on it, let's just see if it goes. So actually the decisions I was making were evidence informed. So I was able to choose a programme which would have the most impact for our cohort of children. So I implemented the Connect curriculum, which is a wellbeing programme based on scientific literature as a guide, as opposed to traditional PSHE curriculum, it can be a little bit wishy-washy. This was absolutely evidence informed. I met with the researchers, and I was actually able to adapt some of the resources with them to make them suitable for more primary age children, which was such a unique thing to be able to do, because as a teacher, you really don't get to meet with the researchers behind the things that you're having to implement in your classrooms. So I was able to go and meet them. I was able to speak at an exhibition with them and really get to know them and get to know why they implemented and why they created this curriculum. So specifically, their curriculum was based on the fact that psychologically healthy people tend to engage in 6 behaviours, which are connecting with others, challenging oneself, giving to others, exercising, embracing the moment, and self-care. So these are called the 6 ways of well-being, and essentially these 6 ways of well-being were taken and made into a curriculum where we can therefore teach the children 6 ways of well-being in order to be happy and healthy and live successful lives. So I was able to implement it at whole school. It's still happening now, 2 years later. We're still using the Connect curriculum. So obviously that's fantastic. But one thing I do love about the Bradford Research Champions programme is that if things don't work, then we are encouraged to go back and look at why they didn't work. Let's adapt things. Let's be more flexible. So it takes away that pressure that the teachers have to constantly get the results. Sometimes we can't get the results. Sometimes things don't work, so we have to go back and refine things. And this program has definitely taught me to be a leader who goes back and constantly just refine things. This year, I began a new role as head of English. So my research project was based alongside my new role as head of English. So reading engagement levels was something we really wanted to look into. So there were several different things that we implemented in school. One of them being research based on fathers reading every day, which was very successful in the US. It's just implementing strategies for male role models to read with their children. And there were several other things, such as using pupil voice to build up class libraries with books based on children's interests. And it has been a very successful year. There's been a lot of takeaways, a lot of things that we would do differently next year, and a lot of things that are here to stay that have had a real impact on our children. So this program in general has opened up so many doors for me as an educator, and so many of my other educators. It's created a lovely network, and I now believe that I'm a better teacher and a better leader because I'm constantly now a reflective practitioner. I'm constantly learning new things, I'm adapting things, I'm questioning things. I don't just take things at face value. Might be a little bit around for my leadership team, but I do question things, and I do think it's really important for all educators to do that. So it's been a real privilege, and thank you so much for listening.
Thank you to both Laura and Maureen for that. We are now, that's now the last event on this particular stage. Can I encourage you to do, I think, 2 things. First of all, we've got the concluding events on the far stage, which including a number of colleagues talking to us, and Anne-Marie Canning again once speaking to us. Please, if you've not had the opportunity to do so, we have the pledge board at the far end of the central area. I'd be really grateful if you put your signature to that so we can talk about the power within the room and the commitment of the colleagues who are attending today. Thank you for colleagues from Crossflats and Marshfield Primary School. I look forward to seeing you on the other stage. Thank you.